What steps do you take to prepare physically and mentally for a game of this magnitude?
Like this, I mostly listen to music, but on the field, the whole team especially, we just practice hard every day. Coach makes us practice, but it all comes worth it at the end.
How has Coach Ross helped you grow as both a player and a person?
He really reveals our potential. He shows our potential and then shows us how to work toward it. And he just unleashes something that most of these kids just didn't know they had. So he really makes us blossom for real.
What has been the most challenging part of the season for you so far? And how have you managed to overcome that?
So I think myself is just the defensive end position. It's there's so much competition when it comes to this position. Everyone wants to play. And I think what I did to overcome it is at home, I would just work in the gym, do some extra work, and then show it on the field.
Who is the greatest influence on your football career? And in what ways have they shaped your game?
I'll say I have two people. I'll say my brother, but then also Coach Ross. See, originally I never played football, but then Coach Ross is what really made me play football. I was at home, I would just play video games, but Coach Ross really made me play football. And then I'll say my brother, because he's the one that played football before me, and he really just made me stay committed to this sport.
How does Coach Ross motivate you and the team during difficult times?
During difficult times, he'll just reassure us really hard. And just reassuring aside, he helps us mentally. He brings up our tempo, he just brings up our mood. And then on the field, man, he just makes us work and work. But at the end, it's worth it at the end. I'm David Anayan, I play for Sosas, and I'm a defensive end.
What steps do you take to prepare physically and mentally for a game of this magnitude?
Mentally, I always look through the playbook, I look through my plays, I also review my own film, so I can check out how I'm doing my mistakes. I've loved this game, I love the toughness that you need to have, and physically, I always try to keep myself in shape so I can keep my head in the game at the same time.
How has Coach Ross helped you grow as both a player and a person?
Coach Ross has shown me the game of football, actually. He introduced it to me. He's given me a lot of opportunities. I've seen that as an influence that he cares. So then I begin to start care about the whole team and try to keep our team together and locked in.
What has been the most challenging part of the season for you so far, and how have you managed to overcome that?
Well, actually, before the season started, last season, in the end of the games, the playoffs, I had an injury. And the time when the team most needed me, I had an injury and then I couldn't play. This kind of mentally drained me, but then soon enough, Coach kind of took me out. He didn't want me back in, but then I had to fight back. I wanted to fight back. I love the sport, I love it, I have passion. So then with my self-belief, I started improving, and every improvement I see success in myself. So then I took it out in the weight room with my teammates, and I helped my teammates in the weight room so then they could get better themselves and they can build confidence like I have built today here. And then he put me back in the team. I got on the team, I promised him I was gonna try my best. And now I'm the defensive captain of this football team.
Who is the greatest influence on your football career, and in what ways have they shaped your game?
So my father, he actually clearly told me about the game. You know, he always had belief in me. He's always helped me through as much as he can. So then once the football team came up, and then I was so interested in it, I decided to play this game, and my father told me to go do it. Even though I was fearful for myself, I decided to go. I trusted my father. Without my father, I would not be here today. Thank you.
How does Coach Ross motivate you and the team during difficult times?
Well, Coach Ross has a unique way of, putting motivation into our teams. He tells us the harsh truth and our real mistakes, and then he tells us how to improve upon them. And what I love about this is the real commitment that he's showing, that he truly cares. He's done a lot of things for us that he never really had to do, and I respect him for that. Thank you, Coach Ross. My name is Arutian Gregorian. I go to Sherman Oaks Center of Enriched Studies. I play defense, and then I play fullback, and I also play wide receiver.
What steps do you take to prepare physically and mentally for a game of this magnitude?
Mentally and physically, I prepare by make sure I come into every game with the mindset of winning and also performing well. And physically, I make sure that I get a good meal in before the game and get enough sleep the night before.
How has Coach Ross helped you grow as both a player and a person?
Coach Ross has helped me grow as a player and a person by making sure that I'm doing well on and off the field.
What has been the most challenging part of the season for you so far, and how have you managed to overcome that?
I think the most challenging part of the season so far would be going up against a team that focuses on stopping the run a lot. So as it did, I overcame it by playing as a decoy and making sure my team made big plays to get the win.
How does Coach Ross motivate you and the team during difficult times?
Coach Ross motivates me and the team during difficult times by strongly encouraging us to get our heads into the game and make sure that we're locked in.
What steps do you take to prepare physically and mentally for a game of this magnitude?
Mentally, I listen to music, get locked in, and physically, I just make sure my body's warm and ready to compete at 100%.
How has Coach Ross helped you grow as both a player and a person?
As a player, he helped me, like he showed me how to do it. He didn't just tell me, he showed me how to physically run my routes and everything. And as a person, he just made sure I don't get in trouble.
What has been the most challenging part of the season for you so far, and how have you managed to overcome that?
Most challenging, when we had a tough team and they were trying to stop me and the running back, I made sure my other players shined.
How does Coach Ross motivate you and the team during difficult times?
He motivates us by setting goals for us. When we set the goals, we go and achieve it. So that's how we manage to get over difficult times.